I share with them, we're going to talk about what just happened. Why did that just happen? And then how does this relate back to the real world? And so I actually teach them the process in my very first debrief so that they understand there's method to the madness. I have thoughtfully sequenced out what we're going to do. And I sometimes find that little tools like this can be really helpful. So I'll pull apart the little puzzle and I'll hold up the what gear and I'll be like, all right, let's talk about what just happened. And then if I get to the so what, I'll say, and then I'll hold up the green piece and be like, all right, well, so what? So why do you think that happened? And then I'll hold up the blue piece and like, well, now how does that relate to the real world? And what I find is that number one, it shows them the cycle so that they understand it. It also is teaching them about effective reflection at the same time, which the more we can teach our participants on how to actively reflect, well, that's good news because maybe they'll do it once they get back to the real world as well. And I tell them you can use this same process in team meetings, if you're working with adults, and for kids to teach kids how, if you're working with any youth groups, then to teach them how to actively and effectively reflect can be a great thing as well. So it's a great tool for a couple of reasons. One, it can help you keep you on track if you're newer to facilitation and you want to ask the right questions in the right order. But it also establishes a sequence and a timeline for how long we're going to be sitting here. And I tell them, I said, we're probably going to walk through 4 or 5, at least minimum, of each one of those cycles. All right, let's talk about leadership. So who do you think the leader was in that activity and why? Well, why do you think that happened? Well, how does that relate back to the real world? Is that kind of a natural role that you step into often? And so then they start to see that's the sequence and that's what we're going to do. So I find that having a visual can be really helpful for not only yourself, but also for the participants. And this is just one little way that I've done it that I think is helpful. And it can help you, the facilitator, keep things on track, but then also aid in teaching your participants as well.